The World Bank decides to double loan facilities given to Sri Lanka. Police bust an illegal human trafficking operation to Australia. Warnings that minor earth tremors could be the premonition of a major earthquake. A rare incident of Venus transition that takes place once in 122 years will occur on the 6th of next month. Former British Prime Minister Tony Blair summoned to the Media Operation Board.
Well, those were the headlines, and taking a look at news in detail now. The World Bank has decided to double the loan facilities given to Sri Lanka. The objective of this measure is to increase economic development and investment opportunities. This has been stated by the senior economist of the World Bank, Mrs. Susan Rasas, in an interview with Bloomberg website. According to an agreement reached with Sri Lanka, the World Bank is to provide $500 million to Sri Lanka. The bank has stated that for a period of 12 months up to the year 2014, and thereafter they will provide another $527 million to Sri Lanka. The bank has commended the steps taken by Sri Lanka to reduce the trade deficit and to safeguard the foreign exchange reserves. The bank states that the Sri Lankan economy, which is worth $50 billion at present, will acquire a development of 7.2% by the year 2012. The Crime Investigation Unit of Vallavatta Police has discovered an illegal human traffic operation to Australia. 113 persons who were to be immigrated to Australia and another 6 persons responsible for this human traffic operation was taken into custody. The police informed that they were planning to go by sea under the guise of fishermen in order to get Australian citizenship. The police had taken into custody 1 lorry and 6 vans which were planned to be used for transport. They have been taken into custody in the Negombo and Colombo areas. The person taken into custody belongs to Tamil and Muslim nationalities, as they are from Chilau, Negombo, Udappu and Manna areas. The human traffickers have obtained 200,000 to 300,000 rupees from each of them as an advance. Accordingly, it has been found that they have collected 32 million rupees. The police informed that the leader of the human traffic gang is a person operating an international school in the Chilau area. The investigation was carried out under the supervision of the Chief Superintendent of the Crime Investigation Unit of the Vallavatta Police by a police team led by the Chief Inspector of the Police, Anura Randenia. Police media spokesman SP Ajit Rohana said that the police requests the people not to get misled by this type of cheats and frauds. He said that the police will continue to carry out raids on these people and will not allow this type of fraudulent business in which the general public is being misled. He said that the police will also obtain assistance of the Navy to carry out these operations.
Meanwhile, construction work on the City of Colombo development project started today under the leadership of Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa. The objective of the exercise is to develop Colombo City as an organised and beautiful global centre.
The project will be implemented in the municipal council areas of Colombo, Dehiwala, Mount Lavinia and Sri Javardhanapura Kotte, and in the urban council area of Kolonnawa. This project will be carried out in 3 stages at a cost of $223 million. This is a joint World Bank and Sri Lankan government project for which the World Bank is providing $123 million, while the government will spend the balance of $100 million. The work of the project will include construction of a drainage system for the prevention of flooding, development of infrastructure facilities and a provision of technical service. The project will be implemented by the Ministry of Defence and Urban Development Authority. It will be implemented up to the 30th June 2017. The project plan also includes construction of several overhead bridges and prevention of unauthorized settlements. The Defence Secretary Gotabaya Rajapaksa, speaking at the inaugural function, said that it is the objective of the government to make the city of Colombo one of the most attractive cities in the world.
As a historic, multicultural, tropical city bordered by the sea, Colombo has many natural advantages that should be capitalized on. Its historic architecture, greenery and public open spaces must be further highlighted and its people-friendly nature further fostered. It is with such improvements in mind the government has launched many initiatives through which it hopes to further develop Colombo.
Metro Colombo urban development project is a very critical and high priority project. It addresses the critical issues of flood reduction, as mentioned by my predecessor, in the capital region, but also it aims to build resilience against climate change. While tackling this priority area, it also aims to develop innovative approaches to deliver urban infrastructure and services that will serve as a viable model for all the cities in Sri Lanka as well as internationally.
Meanwhile, Minister of External Affairs Professor G.L. Pires said that Western countries have expressed support to the program being implemented by the government to establish reconciliation among different communities. He made these comments today explaining to ru10 about his recent visit to the United States. The objective of the visit was to explain to the United States government the true situation in Sri Lanka. The minister held discussions with the U.S. Secretary of State, Mrs. Hillary Clinton, and with high-ranking U.S. officials. Minister Pires said that the discussions held with the representative of the Republican Party, Mr. John McCain, was also very successful.
The outcome was positive in every respect. That is, we had a variety of meetings with the different groups of people. What we basically did was we presented an accurate and unembellished, there is no need, just the facts speak for themselves. There was nothing secret, there was nothing hatched in darkness, all these theories about some conspiracy, absolutely false, I mean a figment of the imagination. So that is totally irresponsible. It was simply an engagement with the U.S. On what is taking place in this country, which is what they have been asking for a long time. That is why soon after the meeting with Secretary Clinton, they said this is very serious on the part of the government of Sri Lanka. There's seriousness of purpose, it's comprehensive. So that was the reaction. Entirely satisfied with the outcome in respect of those matters.
Well, power cuts have become a major issue in many countries, especially in the Asian region. NDTV report says in India, power cuts have turned to a heated debate between the government and the opposition. Not only in India, well, the people in some developing countries are suffering from electricity cuts. In the current period, India has become the major country that curtailed electricity supply. The main reason being the supply capacity insufficient to meet the demand. The NDTV television points out that there is a danger of industrial sectors suffering a major setback. In places like New Delhi, the people are facing much difficulties due to curtailment of electricity supply during the summer season. The shortage of electricity supply has affected 11 provinces, including Uttar Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Bihar and West Bengal. This is gradually becoming a major political problem. The opposition Bharatiya Janata Party blames the ruling Congress party for electricity cuts. Pakistan is also another South Asian country that faces the electricity problem. After the recent tsunami, Japan has also curtailed the electricity supplies. The Electricity Board informs that despite this situation, Sri Lanka is supplying electricity without any curtailment. A sufficient electricity supply is added to the national grid from the Norachole and Upper Kotmale power plants. More local news coming up after a break.
Welcome back. You're watching ru10 News. We move on with more local stories now. The birth anniversary of Kusuma Gunawardena, who was an activist in socialist politics in the country and who was also a member of parliament, was commemorated. She was the wife of late Minister Philip Gunawardena. Mrs. Gunawardena, born on the 26th of May 1912 at Madakatia in Tangol, rendered a great service towards the success of Sri Lanka's independence struggle. She indulged in politics shoulder to shoulder with her husband Philip Gunawardena. She also had to serve a prison sentence at one time. She was elected to Parliament as the MP for Avisavela in the 1952 election, and she was the first female parliamentarian to address the Parliament in Swabhasha. She rendered an yeoman's service to the development of the Mahajana Eksat Perumana, and she was a mother of 5 children. Minister Dinesh Gunawardena, Deputy Minister Geethanjana Gunawardena, former Minister Indika Gunawardena and former Mayor of Colombo Prasanna Gunawardena are her 4 sons. A commemoration stamp and a first day cover were issued in connection with the commemoration of the birth anniversary. The first stamp and the first day cover were presented to the President at Temple Trees this morning. The function was attended by several ministers, parliamentarians, diplomats and family members.
Well, Sri Lankans will have a rare opportunity of seeing the transition of the planet Venus, which will take place once in 105 years or 122 years. The space scientist Anurasi Pereira said that Venus comes in the same line with the Sun and is considered as the Sun transition. Earlier, Sun transition occurred in the year 2004. In this instance, the Venus will travel over Sun as a black dot. On the 6th of next month, Venus transition can be seen for 7 hours from 7 a.m. It was the space scientist Johannes Kepler of Germany who first discovered this through mathematical calculations. It was William Capri of England who observed Venus transition through a telescope for the first time. The next Venus transition will take place in the year 2117. The scientists informed that it is dangerous to watch the Venus transition through a naked eye. The studios for observing the Venus transition has been established at the Colombo University, Trincomalee and at the Arthur C. Clarke Centre in Katobad.
A special police investigation unit has been established to prevent destruction of artifacts. The public can inform this unit about destruction of artifacts in their areas. The new unit has been established due to the increase of complaints received on the destruction of artifacts. The unit is headed by SP Saman Ratnayaka and it has 1 OIC, 4 inspectors and 7 sergeants. The unit can be contacted on telephone numbers 0112 694727 or 0117 222 333 or 0112 692840 or 509 and 510. The Deputy Inspector General of Police, Ravi Vijay Gunawardena, explained the mode of operation of the new unit. Deputy Inspector General of Police Ravi Vijay Gunawardena said that actions need to be taken is different from case to case. However, he said that police will definitely take action to prevent destruction of artifacts and to take action against those who are involved in such activities. Meanwhile, the Commissioner General of Archaeology, Dr. Senarath Dissanayake, said that a special program of enlightening people about our heritage will begin next month. The function was attended by officials of the Archaeological Department and several others.
Well, permits will be issued from tomorrow for gold mining in the Pugot area of the Kelaniya River. The Geological Survey and Mine Bureau says that although permits will be issued for anyone requesting them, priority will be given to the people of the area. With the sudden discovery of gold particles in the Kelaniya River sands with the Pugot area, a large number of people have come forward to mine gold in the area. Due to the danger to life of people, since large crowds get into the deep water as well, the mining was prohibited recently. Following discussions held with the people, it was decided to issue permits for mining. A permit valid for 3 months will be issued under the charge of Rs 2,000. In addition to this, a tax will also be levied for the gold extracted. Gold is the most valuable metal in the world next to platinum. The world's largest gold mines are situated in the African continent. In addition to this, United States, Canada, Australia and Brazil are the most popular countries for gold production.
Meanwhile, the director of the Hantana Basic Educational Institution, Senior Professor C.B. Dissanayake, said that minor tremors could be a premonition of major earthquakes. He said there is an unstable region forming in the Indian Ocean near Sri Lanka. A major earthquake that was felt in Sri Lanka occurred in the year 1615. Mr. Dissanayake said that due to this, no one can exactly predict that earthquakes will not take place in Sri Lanka. Within 1 week, minor tremors that were felt by people were reported in Sri Lanka. Although there were no damaged property or life, these incidents cannot be taken lightly. The professor emphasized that streamlined research should be undertaken. He said that Sri Lanka is not in an earthquake danger zone. Geologists meanwhile point out that due to various changes in the inner surface of the earth, minor cracks in the earth could develop into dangerous situations.
The United National Party parliamentarian Dinesh Gankanda, who was arrested for assaulting and biting the nose of a businessman, has been enlarged on bail. He has been enlarged on bail by the 4th Magistrate Court for 2 personal security amounting to 100,000 rupees each and with a cash security of 30,000 rupees. The incident has occurred around 1:45 a.m. Yesterday at a club in Kolpiti. The businessman has complained to the police that after an argument, the parliamentarian assaulted him. The injured businessman is getting treatment at a private hospital. Mr. Dinesh Gankanda has visited the Kolpitiya police station with a lawyer around 11 a.m. today. At that time, he was taken into custody and was presented to the court magistrate court. The court has also ordered him to appear at the Kolpiti police station every Sunday between 9 a.m. and 12 noon. The case will be taken up for the next hearing on the 23rd of August. The court has informed the police to present a full report about the incident on that day. International news coming up next.
Welcome back. We move on into international news now. In Britain, former Prime Minister Tony Blair's evidence to the Levison inquiry was briefly interrupted by a protester accusing the former Prime Minister of being a war criminal. The judge said that he was ordering an immediate investigation into the security breach. As Tony Blair was facing the inquiry, the protester entered the courtroom through a door reserved for the judge. The protester was later named as David Lawley, a filmmaker who made films criticizing the Iraq War. After he was removed by security staff, Lord Justice Levison apologized to Mr. Blair for the fact that the man was able to enter through what is supposed to be a secure corridor. Mr. Blair brushed off the incident but took the opportunity to say that the protesters' claims were totally untrue.
A very warm welcome to all our viewers, and you are joining in with ru10 Sports News. Signing in at the news desk, I'm Kasun Sigera. We're starting off with some local news. A team of officials from the Asian Athletic Association arrived in Sri Lanka to investigate about the arrangements being made in Sri Lanka for the forthcoming Asian Junior Athletic Tournament. The team included the Secretary and the Treasurer of Association, Maurice R. Nicholas. The Asian Junior Athletic Tournament is scheduled to be held in Sri Lanka from 9th to 12th in Colombo. The Minister of Sports, Mr. Mahindananda Alutgamage, explained to the visiting team about the arrangements being made by Sri Lanka as the hosting nation. The visiting team also inspected the venue of the tournament, the Sugathadasa Stadium. They informed that the track as well as the swimming pool are up to the international standards. The official logo, the official theme of the Asian Junior Athletic Tournament were released at the Independence Square in Colombo today.
Well, with sports news, we wrap up today's bulletin of ru10 News. Thank you very much for joining us.